no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. So I woke up, sun in my eyes, forgot all about what I did last night. What I do remember that it was real, real nice. Talks about me are never good. I don't live life the way that I should. Oh well, I'm in for some fun tonight. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, it's you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's a time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, it's you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's a time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of.
Hey everybody, what's up? What's up? What's up? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to today. PQ and I in the house on Saturday. Hello, Facebook. We got a treat for you. If you're watching this, you're going to get to see some other folks share their stories. I know, Pat, I think you got the slide, and I'll let you share that in a minute, Pat. But man, it's going to be an exciting morning. Today, the intention is to bring up 10 people who shared their story powerfully in the group. We have finished the 3-day challenge. You got some bonus training yesterday with several of the top leaders. And today is another bonus day where we want you to hear people tell their story, real, authentic, not perfect, but putting themselves out there and putting themselves in the arena. Pat, I believe one of the biggest reasons why people do not see growth in their business, don't create the income and the impact that they want, is based on one of your favorite quotes, is that they don't put themselves in the arena. And these people put themselves in the arena and then just stay on the sidelines, Pat.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt says the credit belongs to the one who is actually in the arena. And today we reward 11 of those people who threw their hat into the ring. And I just want to congratulate everyone who said no to their fear and yes to their future, who thought that their message was more important than their anxiety, who didn't pay attention to how they felt or how they looked. Because I'll be honest with you, these 10 or 11 people that we're going to coach today, their videos were not perfect. Their stories are not perfect. They have flaws just like you do, but they weren't thinking about themselves probably. They were probably thinking about the person who they can help. They were thinking about the person who's struggling. And so did everybody else who put out a video under #MyStory. So I'm super excited about today. We get a chance to celebrate 11 great stories, but also a chance, Pete, to celebrate everybody who put their message out there and said, I want to get better at this. And that's really the commitment that I want people to make. If you're watching this today because you want to get better at this, if you're watching this today because you want to help more people, if you're watching this today because you know you can have an impact on the lives of other people, then why don't you type into the chat, I want to get better, I want to help others, or I want to have an impact. Type that into the chat right now. Type that into the comments on Facebook. And we would love to have you make a public declaration right now that you're not satisfied with how good you are right now. You're not satisfied with how many people are hearing your message today, but you want your message to grow, to get better, to get bigger, and to impact the lives of more people, Pete.
Yeah, Pat, I think today might be one of the biggest treats for folks because it's the accumulation of all of the days and actually seeing the demonstration of people sharing their stories. Facts tell, stories sell. The facts of your company are not going to get new customers and new distributors at the level or at the scale that you want to. Stories will do that. And so today, you're going to get to see the demonstration of 11 people share. Pat and I give some coaching and feedback, quick coaching and feedback to every single one of them. And then Pat and I are going to do a little debrief. And we're going to actually pick the 3 that we think are the most powerful. And one of you today is actually going to win the $5,000 presentation power workshop today. One of you is going to win that today. How freaking cool is that? Yeah, some of you are saying, wow, 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 wow. Yes, how cool is that? So yeah, you guys, here's what I want you to be thinking about today. First off, share this, tag people, crank that share button, because you want other people to be able to see this and be demonstrated. You want to create powerful presenters in your organization or in your team. You're going to get to see that today. You're going to get to see that in a really powerful way today. So make sure you share this. You could start a watch party on your page, because this is like a little miniature speak off today, a little mini one. And so start a watch party on your page, share it, because we're going to have a lot of fun today. So hang out. It'll be about an hour and 15 minutes all in all. We're going to be concise, to the point, give some coaching. Here's my encouragement to you as we get ready to start it, Pat, and you recognize the 11 who are going to go. Get a pen, get paper, and take notes on 2 things. What is it that you learn from each presenter? What are things that stand out to you about something that they do? When I was at Brendan Burchard's event several years ago, I paid attention to the people on stage and what they did. But where I really paid attention is the coaching. And what was the stuff that the people, the experts, saw in a constructive manner that they gave to that person? Because we're not just giving it to the 11, we're giving it to the thousands of you that are watching this today. And so I really want to encourage you to share this, take notes. And then here's the last thing. I want to really, really recognize those folks today, the many of you who have taken action to join us at Presentation Power Experience in a couple of weeks. On Monday, the package and all of the bonuses that go along with that does go away, and the workshop goes back to its normal pricing of $5,000. And so you are seeing not just the 40 or 50% off pricing, you're seeing it come with over $23,000 worth of bonuses that you want to make sure you take advantage of. And so if that's calling to you, if you're wrestling with that, step off of the sidelines and jump into the playing field, jump into the arena. That's, Pat, I believe that's networkmarketingpro.com/challenge. I think, guys, networkmarketingpro.com/challenge. Is that right, Lex? I think that's right. Or the team out there. We'll double check. I think, yes. Scott says yes. So make sure that you take that action today. And when you take that action on Facebook or here, and just say, I'm in. We want to know that. We want to celebrate that with you. And so, Pat, let's get rolling today. We got 11, man. And so we're going to start this thing off strong. 2 minutes, Pat. They got 2 minutes. No more. And so I don't know if I should be the timer, you should be the timer, but maybe we can have all 3 of us up here whenever they're going, or you can make us disappear, whatever you want. But Pat, what do we want to set the tone? So let's talk about this and let's dive right in, man.
Yeah, this is a great day. I'm going to share the top 11. We got 11 people today that are going to share their messages, and we're going to go in alphabetical order. So this is the order we're going to go in. Congratulations to these 11. Adri, Cheyenne, Devera, Casey, Marcus, Marianne, Michael, Navina, Nikki, Stephanie, and Yvette. And so that's the order that we're going to go in. So when it's your turn, you'll be ready. You do have just 2 minutes, same thing that you had. And so you want to keep an eye on that. Make sure you don't go over 2 minutes. We'll cut you off if you go over 2 minutes. But this is a really important skill, being able to do it in a concise amount of time. I think we all have heard somebody talking and we were buying in and we were buying in. And then it just kept going, and then it just kept going. Or we've heard the first part of somebody's story, but then they ran out of time and we didn't hear the second half of their story, so we couldn't buy in. Being able to do it in a concise period of time is good. And that's one of the reasons that these people are here today on this big stage, is because they had the opportunity to do it and they got it in under 2 minutes. So awesome job. I just want everybody watching to give as much love. This is hard. I'm telling you. This is really hard to come up here live and to do this in front of, we've been having well over 40,000 people watch each of these each day this week, and 10,000 people on live the last few days. This is hard. And so you guys who are watching, I want so much love in the chat. I want so much love in those Facebook comments. This is a time to celebrate. This is a time to put in the chat and in Facebook, to smash that share button and say, listen to these stories. These stories are rocking it. These stories are loving it. So 2 minutes to go. We are going to start with Adri, and she is going to go first. And you got your camera on there? Where are you?
Pat, they're up. Are you timing or am I? You will?
I can.
Okay. So guys, pay attention to the clock. He'll give you a 1 minute warning and then no.
It's only 2 minutes. I'll try to. I'll stop you if you're going long. Don't worry. We'll keep people on here.
And then finish the comment that you're on if you go long. But man, really try not to go long today. But if you are, finish the comment that you're on and close it out. So Pat, all right. Do we have our first person?
I see her. Can you turn your camera on? Do you have permission to turn your camera?
My camera can turn on from my side.
So you can't turn your camera on?
No, not from this side.
All right, then.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. Hey, how are you today?
I'm all right, and you?
I am good. We are just thrilled that you're here, thrilled that you're going to go first. So whenever you're ready.
Hi to the world. Everybody, my name is Audrey. I'm all the way from South Africa. I was stuck in retail for 7 odd years, and with the long working hours in retail, there's absolutely no time for family weekends, birthdays, taking your child to the doctor, or even basically going to the doctor yourself. I even missed out on a few funerals and that. I found a post on Facebook, and immediately it offered me the opportunity of time, and I had to go for it. I took the opportunity. It's almost 2 years later, and I am now home 24/7. I homeschool my boys. I am there for when they need me. I've got 2 young ones, a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I'm available for whenever they need me, day or night. And it doesn't stop me from working from home, and I can do everything that I want to do.
Woo, nice.
Yeah.
Give some love. Give some love in the chat. I love this story. I love this story because it's real. I love this story because it's you. And you really took to heart when I said you don't have to climb Mount Everest. You don't have to have paddled down the Amazon River and wrestled with alligators. You just got a story. You got a story that you were missing out on things. And so a couple of things I'll tell you that I love about your story, and one thing I'll give you to improve. I love the language you use, like stuck in retail. Remember, the first step of the 4 elements that Eric teaches around this is to tell your background. But the second step is the things you didn't like, and you got right into it. You got right into it. So you have a retail background, and there were things that you didn't like. You were missing out on things. And so great language there. I love your language around that. 2 things I would do to improve it. The first one is, instead of talking in generalities about the things you were missing, I would love for you to take us into one room, into one moment where you missed something. Like you mentioned, I missed a few funerals. I even missed a few funerals. I would love the story to be around, and I remember one day I was supposed to go to a funeral of somebody who I knew and who I loved. And then tell us like that moment, like when you just were like, I should be there, but I can't be there. And let us into your thoughts. I felt guilty. I felt ashamed, I felt angry, and I knew that I wasn't treating the people that I love the way I should be treating the people I love. So there's times when we list a whole bunch of things, or we speak in generalities, like I missed some funerals, and we would be better off with a more specific. I remember one day there was this good friend whose funeral I missed, and take us right into that day. Sometimes more specificity will help you there because it allows us to see your raw emotion. Pete, what did you see?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. I think there was so good job of just being ordinary. Like, here's the thing, anybody can relate to you being ordinary. I actually felt the side of the, like, I don't miss it now, I'm there 24/7. Like, I felt that side. I didn't feel the pain as much. I feel like you kind of glossed over the pain. And one mistake most people make is they go too long. The mistake that you might have made that you got to improve on is you got 2 minutes to take us in the rooms and help us understand where you were and where you're at now. Like, just the change in that. But I bet, I don't know what the time was, but I would have said that was probably less than 45 seconds. And so
Just
you're
about
actually, what's that?
Just about a minute. I was just ready to give the 1 minute warning.
And so what I would say is you've got a whole nother minute to move people. I think where I'd have focused it on is making sure we really understood, like Pat said, specifically where things were at before. And so make sure that you just continue to practice that. I love the ordinary story and way to set us off right out of the gates. And I think there's a lot to be, a lot that you can do with what you've shared today. So congratulations on being here today.
Woo! Give us some love in the chat and in the comments on Facebook. Great job going first. Always hardest to go first. You don't know if you're going to get yelled at, but nobody gets yelled at here. We love the fact, and here's what I know. I know you're going to help a lot of people with that story, because I know there's a lot of people working in retail, working a full-time job, who are missing things. Whether they're nurses or in retail, or I've talked to some people this morning from the beauty industry, they're missing school programs. They're missing picking up their kids from school. They're missing funerals. You are going to help a lot of people with that. We just need to make sure that that pain comes out and that the good parts come out. So great job on that. Cheyenne is up next. Cheyenne, are you ready? You can turn your camera on.
It's saying that I can't turn it on. It says it's disabled.
Now, can we give everybody in the meeting a permission to turn their cameras on? That'd be great if we can do that. I don't know if I'm a co-host or if you're a co-host, Pete.
Think I got it?
Yep, there you go, Cheyenne.
There
Awesome.
you go.
So
All
I'm
right. How you doing today?
sorry, I'm good. How about yourself?
He was
All right.
ready, Pat. She was ready. Quit
She
getting in
was.
the
I
way,
just want
Pat.
to give people a chance to breathe. I just want to give people a chance, and I got to get my clock ready. Ready when you are, Cheyenne.
All right. I'm Cheyenne Owens, and I'm down here in Tallahassee, Florida. Whenever I graduated high school, I had a lot of big dreams about getting out in the world and taking control of my life and really being free. So I did what a lot of other people were doing, and I got a full-time job. I started selling insurance, and it didn't take long for me to realize that I was actually giving all of my freedoms away to my job. I was working 40 plus hours a week, so I never had the energy to do anything that I actually wanted to be doing with my time. And it was painfully in my face how quickly I could lose everything because my company had such a huge turnover rate. I was going day to day, going through the motions and really not doing anything with my life. And then thank God I found something incredible. So now I have the opportunity to be my own boss, which is something that absolutely no one can ever take away from me. And something that's even more important is I get to spend so much time with the friends and family that I love, getting to do the things that I actually care about. And I'm just so excited because I know with what I have now, absolutely anything is impossible. And I'm just really excited to take you guys on this journey with me.
Woo! Nice. Cheyenne. Woo,
Pat, I don't think you gave the minute warning again, did you?
I might have slept. I might missed it. It was 1:09. Another short one. You guys are. One of the things that happened. I'm guilty of this as well. You can tell when I'm nervous because I talk faster. You can tell when I'm nervous because I don't breathe. I just stop breathing and I just start talking. And so I think one of the things, as we get more and more comfortable telling our stories in front of audiences, I think some of these are going to slow down a little bit. But here's what I love about your story. 2 words. You said it when you got out of high school, you had all these dreams and you felt like you didn't have the freedom. And here's what I want everybody watching this to know. When you have a word in a sentence that's really important, don't say it louder than all the other words in the sentence, and don't pound the podium and don't point your finger to make us notice. When you have a word in a sentence that's more important than the other words in a sentence, just lengthen the word. Lengthen the word. So is yours written out, Cheyenne? Can you repeat one of those first sentences you said with dreams in it?
So it's something, whenever I first graduated high school, I had a lot of big hopes and dreams about getting into the world and creating my own
Okay, now
freedom.
look how you did that there. I had lots of big hopes and dreams about getting into, like dreams was like a tiny short word in the middle of that sentence. Now what we're gonna do is lengthen that. I had lots of big hopes and dreams about getting into, it's the exact same sentence. We're just gonna lengthen hopes and dreams longer, not louder, just longer. Try the same sentence again, but lengthen the words hopes and dreams.
I had a lot of different hopes and dreams.
And you can keep right on going then. Once
Okay.
you don't have to stop, just lengthen the
Yeah.
word and then keep right on going. So try it again.
All right, when I got out of high school, I had a lot of different hopes and dreams. And so I did what a lot of other people were doing, and
So
I
what
got a
that
full.
does, great job, Cheyenne. What that does is get people who are listening to it thinking about the dreams that they had. That's the key word there. And then later you have another one about gave a lot of my freedoms away, and you rush right through it. If you would just lengthen that, you'd get everybody listening thinking about what are the hopes and dreams that I had after high school that I haven't done yet, and what are the freedoms that I've slowly given away that I didn't have. So when you want to emphasize a word, don't say it louder, just lengthen it, and the audience will lean into it and they'll connect with it a lot more. So super job on this. I love the hopes and dreams because it gives people a chance to see themselves in your story. And Pete, I know you have things you want to say about this as well.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say, Shine, you've got a great presence, and you are a very solid communicator. Yeah, I think that the opportunity and potential for you is extremely high. Like right away, you had my attention out of the gates. Now I want you to go longer. I want you to take that minute and 45 seconds or the minute and 50 seconds, not the minute and 5. In one place, you could have extended it by about 12 to 15 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds. That would have been big and will be big. And I hope that you will come out with us here in a couple of weeks if you're not already. But the place that you could have extended it is you started the us against them, but you didn't finish the us against them. People love it when it's like us against them. And so you started leading in to say, I did what everybody else did, or what everybody said to do, which is go get a job and that type of deal. And so you started that path, but you didn't carry it out because you could have said, and what everybody told me to do, they didn't tell me the misery that they were in and that caused them the same misery that they had, or that they found themselves, what everybody tells you to do, what they don't tell you to do is how they got stuck for the rest of their life. What everybody tells you to do, get a job, they don't tell you that no longer do you have freedom and you don't control your own destiny. Like, so you could have carried on the us against them. You started it, but you didn't carry it on. And if you'd have carried it on for about 20 seconds, people would be like, wow, yeah, I'm on her side. I'm against that thing over there. That thing being what everybody else is telling you to do. That's the one piece of thing. Like if we can work on that with you, like it will be game changer. And these are the types of things that we get to do for 2 consecutive days, guys, because every one of the people at the workshop will be sharing their story 3 times. And getting 15 to 20 pieces of feedback from the folks that are in their breakout rooms with them. And so you guys are saying golden nuggets. Yeah, I hope that she'll take this and run with it. But imagine yourself just getting 15 to 20 pieces of feedback. So job well done. That's the one piece I would say, and congratulations. Good job.
Woo! Give some love
Thank
to
you so much, you
Cheyenne.
guys.
Absolutely. Give some love in the chat and in the Facebook comments. We're thrilled that you're here today joining us. We've got 2 down and we've got 9 to go. This is hot. This is great. And I just realized we have Devera on our list, but Catherine, I apologize. Somehow we got your last name and some of your first name mixed up. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry about the name
Hello,
mix up.
Pete
I don't
and
know how we got that mixed up on our list, but this is Catherine, and we are super excited that you're here, and we are ready to go when you are ready to go.
yes. Okay. So, hello guys. My name is Catherine de Vera Flores. I am an overseas Filipino worker, a housekeeper, and a babysitter here in Paris, France. So, I am also a wife and a mother of two. I am facing so many challenges in my life, being away from my family for 4 years till now, just to work here abroad. So the feeling of longingness leads me to think that I'm always guilty if something went wrong to them. So I cannot express my hard works and my sacrifice because that's what I think I deserve, and I chose it. So each time I talk to my children and ask me when will I be back, I can't answer them straight to the point because I know I can't leave the salary here. So, but time is being compromised. That's what I realized. No one can ever replace a mother's love. The only solution I have right now is to be part of the program. So it gave me so much motivation to wake up my sleeping dreams back to life, to become a better version of me and a blessing to other people. So here's what I feel right now in my future. I am so excited and I am so confident that I will be successful, that I can give the most comfortable life to my family and to help more people in the future. Thank you so much.
Woo, nice. Give some love to Catherine. Give some love to Catherine. Love it. Very, very good. Hey, the purpose of a story is to connect. And one of the things I love that you do, Catherine, in the start of your story is you list all of the groups that might connect with you. So it would be easy to just make this story a story about a mom who's not with her kids right now. But you also, you mentioned that you're babysitting. You mentioned that you're living overseas. You mentioned that you're a wife. You mentioned that you're a mother. And when you're listing things like that, who's connecting with you? People from all of those groups. And so the purpose of story is to connect. And when you list extra groups like that, you connect extra well. One of the things that you did better than I think than we've seen so far today is, especially on the back half, you didn't just tell us the changes. And we tell, a lot of people tell us, well, my story doesn't have an ending yet. I haven't seen the success on the back end yet. I've only been doing this for a little while. I haven't seen $1 million numbers yet. But remember, part 4 of Eric's 4-part model: first, your background; second, what you don't like; third, what you found; and fourth, how you feel about the future. You actually didn't give us a lot of specifics about what things are like, going forward as far as tactical, like how much money you're making and how big your team is growing and how many hours you're working. But man, did you tell us how you felt. You are more motivated. You are a better version of you than you've ever been. You're excited about the future, about being successful, and you're feeling successful. When you get to the back half of this, when you get to part 4, don't just tell us tactically what's happening. I went from 40 hours a week to 20 hours a week. I went from not seeing my kids to seeing my kids. Tell us how that makes you feel. And anybody can do that, whether you've been in the business 7 days or 7 years. You can tell us how you feel about the future, and you did a great job of that. Pete?
Yeah, Catherine, first off, I got to tell you to start this off, because I'm going to be really, really honest with everybody here today, because I think that's what you deserve. First off, I was engaged and the comments were engaged. And I was finding myself in it, like, wow, what a story. Like, I'm a parent. I didn't have to be a mother. I'm a father. And I found it. And all of a sudden I thought about being away from my kids for multiple years. And so here's what you did. You did the ordinary side of it really well, and where people feel. And Pat made a statement, and I'm now starting to call them connection stories. Your stories either connect you with people or they don't. Let me tell you the difference between whether they connect you or don't connect you. You want to know the difference between connection and not connection? Mm-hmm. Them actually finding themselves in this story. So when Pat says the 1% of people who climb Kilimanjaro, nope, don't find myself in that story. So it doesn't necessarily, it might move them, but it doesn't connect them. There is a difference between moving somebody or inspiring them or them finding themselves connected into the story. Big difference between moving somebody. You're all like, no, but I'm always inspired by the climbing. Yeah, you're moved by it, but you're not connected to it. So Pat is right. You crushed the connection stories, because anybody who's a parent, not just a mom, anybody that's ever struggled with having to work multiple jobs, anybody that's, has, all the things you said, like basically you got 95% of the people that are connected to you through your story. Guys, think about connection stories. Why do I show the picture of my 4 kids and my wife and talk about my wife and my daughter sometimes? Because the majority of my audience has a spouse or kids. Not all of them, the majority of them. Connection story. Connection story. So great job on that. Let me tell you where you're gonna miss it. And Pat, I believe many people in the network marketing profession, but also those that we move on, miss it here. This is why I am ecstatic about working with people for 2 days. Is Pat, she did somewhat give us those emotions. I agree with you, but I was never confident in it. So I'm putting myself in the form of a prospect saying, okay, I see where you're at, but I'm not really confident on where you're going, because you gave some of the emotional, you gave none of the tactical. And sometimes people give all of the tactical and none of the emotional. They're both needed, but you have to be more clear with the tactical. I cannot just leave here feeling bad or feeling like, oh, I want it to change for her. I got to leave here feeling it is changing for her and I want to be a part of it. Too many of you don't have people, even if you're not at the level or the rank or whatever it is that you want, speak confident about something tactical and something confident about emotional, because that's where you want them to, that's where they want to be. They don't want to live in the ordinary anymore. They got to see that there's an extraordinary, and that's missing somewhat from you, Catherine. In the end of it, I want you to beef that up, make that stronger. And for a lot of you out there, the stories that I watched, you lived way too much here and not enough here. And I'm telling you, we will fix that in 2 days, Pat. We will fix that. You were awesome. Great job. And I look forward to you being reunited with your kids. You tell them mom's going to be there sooner than you think. So thank you.
Give some love to Catherine in the chat. And Pete, I got to tell you, we're only 3 speakers into this, and I'm already so excited about those 2 days of presentation power, because we're going to get to do this for 2 days straight. And everybody there is going to have an opportunity to take their current presentation, their current story, and make it better and better and better, and have opportunities to tell it and get feedback. It's just I'm so excited about these 2 days. If you haven't signed up for those 2 days yet, man, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is a great opportunity. Casey is up next. Casey, we are excited that you are here. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. We're excited to hear your story. So whenever you are ready, give it a go.
Great. I am Casey Betty, and I was just like you are today. I was feeling just like you, nervous, afraid, unsure of future possibilities, opportunities, and change. You see, years ago, I wanted to join a network marketing company, and I was very excited to share this news with my friends and family. But when I shared it with them, I didn't get the responses I was expecting. I was told that it was a pyramid scheme and I wasn't going to be near the top, so I wouldn't be paid enough money. I was told it wasn't a real job. I let them tell me about something that they knew nothing about. I let them take my excitement, my goals, and my dreams. I'm a wife, I'm a mom to 3, and a full-time board certified behavior analyst. I help people every day because that's what I love to do. But that job doesn't give me the time that I want and deserve to have with my family. I miss special moments with my children. That job keeps us financially stressed, and my goals and dreams were nowhere in sight. until I took my life back and I joined a network marketing company filled with like-minded individuals, motivated and determined to be the best people we can be, to help others, to grow through leadership and mentorship and grow our teams. Now, I have the time that I wanted with my husband and my children, and I will not miss any more milestones. Now, we are less financially stressed every day. And now I'm achieving my goals and taking steps towards my dreams every day. I'm determined to bring as many people along with me on this journey, sharing our successes, achieving our goals, and making our dreams come true. Thank you.
Woo! Pete, you'll like that one. 1 minute and 57 seconds.
That's
Used
my
all of-
style. The
used
best,
all of her time.
the best
Well done,
using
Casey.
the best using time today for sure. I just, you took the time, you did an incredible job. You implemented something Pat taught you at the very end there. So job well done with that. 3 different places of where you're at today. I love that. I'll tell you one thing. I don't want you to tell me I'm just like you. I want you to show me I'm just like you. At the beginning, I'm just like you. Like, no, you might not know me. So instead of saying, I'm just like you, like, I want you to actually say so many people feel, and now all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I do feel that way. But when you tell somebody something like you're just like me, like a wall can go up. So I would change that a little bit, because I don't want people's walls to go up on you and say, I'm just like you. I would even out of the gate say I had dreams to have my own business. Like, I think you said I wanted to be in a network marketing company. I want you to talk about network marketing in there. Don't get me wrong. But like in your first 30 seconds, maybe say something about like, I had this dream to be my own boss and take control of my own future. And then you can bring network marketing in, but I don't want you to bring it in. There's a couple of things where, guys, the first 30 seconds, Pat, I got the footage from Grant Cardone's team. And I can't wait to show it at the 2-day workshop, Pat. I got the footage. I got to go through all the footage of the young lady who I call it the wall going up. It's called the like wall rising. And guys, there are things that you will have to say, but you don't want to say them too soon. And or else the wall goes up. And we don't want the wall going up in the first 30 to 45 seconds, because now they don't listen to you the rest of the time, because they start controlling the narrative in their story of what you are and what you do, just like your family did, and have this misconception. They need to understand how you feel and where you're at. And now you can introduce that, because they're not as guarded. So just be cautious with a couple of wall raising statements out of the gates, but you did a phenomenal job.
Okay. Thank you.
Woo, Casey, you are the master of pacing. Absolutely the master of pacing. Here's what she did. Everybody should take notes. Watch the recording if you guys get the recording of this. When the emotional line of your story is going down and your family's telling you this is a scam, your pace slows down, your volume goes down, your tone goes down. And when you describe your life wasn't, you weren't doing this and you didn't have this opportunity. Your pace is down. When the emotional line's going down, everything's going down. But then when you hit that pivot point and you discover a company that works for you and you discover an opportunity that works for you, your pace picks up, your volume picks up, your energy picked up, and you got a little bounce in your step. And it was like, if I don't speak English, I still know the story arc of this story, because you made it so obvious in everything that you did. Just did an amazing job of that. Just to echo what Pete said, I just think you have the first 2 parts of your presentation wrong. I would talk about your situation and what was missing in your life and the things you didn't like about your life first.
Yep.
Okay.
And then say, I was hoping a network marketing opportunity, or I was hoping starting with this company would help with that. But my family was resistant. They thought it was a scam. They said pyramid scheme. I think it's okay to mention the objections to network marketing, but you did it in the first few sentences. I would just flip that order, talk about the condition of your life first, and then the opportunity second. I just think that little change will overcome what Pete was worried about. I heard it too. I mean, you said network marketing in your first sentence. So I love your pacing. Casey is the master of pacing. Just remember that. Give her some love in the
Hey,
give her
Pat.
some love in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm not loving? I'm loving backstage. Everybody's got the chance to be backstage with us today. Eric opened up backstage and chose not to charge for backstage this time, which I love that about him. Like last time backstage was, was $100, $200 to be backstage with us because you were backstage with Pat and Pete and, Dean and all these incredible greats, Grant and like that type of deal. You're not backstage today. Backstage, you guys are lighting it up for these contestants. I'm thinking about stopping the stream to Facebook because we have 1,000 people on Facebook right now and we got 722 comments. We should have a comment per person who presents, showing their love, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to go back and see the comments when they presented. And they need to be encouraged by that. So Facebook, if you are passively being here today, like just hop off. You stay in the sidelines. I'm not saying that in a mean way, but I'm challenging people who are staying on the sidelines and then saying, well, I can't, making excuses. Like, don't stay on the sideline. The way you show up for other people is the way people are going to show up for you. We have people who are speaking on the biggest stage of their life today. There will be 30 or 40,000 people that watch them. And I'm not seeing the love over here, and I'm seeing the love right here. And I'm just saying, if you're going to be here, like if I continue to see that, like I know this is not having been proved by Eric, I'll just stay right here backstage, because backstage is lighting it up for our folks. They're lighting it up. And Facebook, man, I was like, Pat, I just needed to say that because I'm so grateful for these people who are putting themselves out there. And maybe this is the kid 5 years ago that was so nervous, and it was the audience that made me ease my nerves by the love that they showed me, like the love that they showed me when I put my first 2 or 3 minutes out there on a stage. So Facebook, that's what I'm imploring you to do today, encouraging you to do. And if we lose a few of you because of that, I'm cool. Then jet out of here. If you're going to continue to be passive, jet out. We're cool. We want people who are engaged in these 11 folks today. So Pat, let's go to the 5th person.
All right. Well done, Casey. We are moving
Thank
on.
you.
Marcus Jacob Weiss is next. Marcus, are you with us today? There you go.
Yes, my camera worked. Hi, Pat. Hi, Pete.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Thank you so much for this.
All right. We are excited to hear your story. So ready when you are.
Okay. I'm an actor and freelance educator, and I loved everything that I was doing. I mean, I was singing and dancing and clowning for a living in award-winning shows almost every night. But you know how showbiz is. I mean, short-term jobs, long-term jobs, they come and go, they end. And so I literally had to have 5 or 6 teaching jobs on the side just to keep us afloat. And I was running myself ragged. I was stressed, depressed, and uninspired, and kind of hopeless. And then COVID, and I lost 90% of what I was doing. And while I was sort of stewing in my self-pity, I noticed one person in our family was still working. And that was my wonderful wife. There she was on her computer every night in her network marketing opportunity and doing it joyously. And I'm like, there's gotta be something in this. So I gathered up all my courage and I asked her on bended knee if I could be the Robin to her Batman. And she said, yes. So we started working together. We started collaborating together. We started being together. And in the first month out of the gates, no joke, we won a contest in our team. And the cool thing is that it didn't end there, because this opportunity doesn't end. And so we're still together. We're still working together. We're still collaborating together. We're like doing dishes, discussing how beautiful and delicious the meal was, but then also going, hey, how's that email going? And guess who is,
All right, we're going to have to cut you off there, Marcus. You're at 2 minutes and 15 seconds at this point.
He didn't say he could finish their last statement, Pat. I gave that. So close
really?
it out, Marcus.
Oh, and so
One closeout though.
Oh, because this never ends. And so the future is bright. And that's it.
I love it.
Woo! Give some
Oh,
love
man.
to Marcus. Woo! He
Dad,
brought
I
the
didn't see the
acting.
minute warning. That's on you, bro. I didn't see the minute warning, PQ.
I was so into the story.
I
Sometimes
know, me too. That's on
No.
Pat, guys. That's on Pat. Hey, listen, PQ. I thought it was phenomenal. Like, I was in the story. Here's my question for you. When you were going through your full-time thing and you lost everything, like, this is a great story to recruit people in.
Yeah.
Did you ever, and if you didn't, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever, like, babe, what are you doing? Or what are you trying? Like, before COVID hit, were you ever, like, question your wife or saying this doesn't work? Or are you sure this is going to work? Was there
Oh,
any?
yeah.
Okay. That's
Oh,
all I
yeah.
needed to know. That's all I needed to know. That is the only piece I would add when you looked at your wife at the computer. I'm looking at my wife at the computer, working hard, and she's over there controlling her own destiny in her own business.
Yeah.
Thinking, why did I give her a hard time about this? Here I am. I've lost everything. I don't have my job. I don't have my work. And the lady that I might have given a hard time in the past, I had to come to the realization, like, wow, that's working for her. I'm just saying it like me. I would just tell you to add that one little piece. And because now what's happening is you're doing the thing that they are used to doing, saying, oh, I better stop being that person who questions this industry, this profession, because he was doing the same. It's actually a meta thing. You're literally doing to your wife what they might have done to you, and bam, that block just goes out just like that, dude. It's majorly meta. Add that small little thing and watch the elimination on the other side be gone. That's all I can say, Pat, outside of Pat missing your 1 minute warning.
What? I was
Pat.
so into the story. Great
How
story,
dare.
Marcus. Hey, this is one of those stories that I think actually would be better with fewer details. So your opening, sentence is, I'm an actor and a freelance educator. How many other people in the world do you think are actors and freelance educators?
I
Maybe-
think probably a lot, unless they're freelance waiters.
Maybe, but
no.
I think it would be a more connecting story if you could just say you're an actor. You could say you're a creative. You could say I have a job where I work hard.
Yeah.
Then you said I was working literally 5 to 6 jobs. How many other people do you think are actually working 5 to 6 jobs? I just think that number is too high. Why don't you say I couldn't make enough money in my main job that I had to get another job? And now you're connecting, instead of with 1 out of 1,000 people, you're connecting with 1 out of 3 people whose core job barely gets them enough. And then the universal there is, then when COVID hit, I lost a lot. I lost the opportunity to work. I lost one of my jobs or both of my jobs. I think you're separating yourself with some of these descriptors, and you could be uniting yourself just by making them a little more tame and a little less extraordinary. And then the last detail I would leave out is when you realize your wife is still working. My wife controls her own destiny. My wife still has an income. I would not say network marketing opportunity right there. I would say she has a business. She has a business, and I asked her if I could be part of it, and she said yes. I just think you don't need to introduce that term, because that term is going to raise walls. Just say she has a business. What's that?
Yeah. In general, Pat. Right. Network marketing in general could be a wall. Yeah. Gotcha.
The other word I love, and there's a great book called Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow, about throwing in words that are not commonly used that gets the audience to slow down and really visualize. You said when COVID hit, you were stewing. It's just a beautiful visual word, because I can picture you frozen on the couch stewing instead of taking action. And I just think sometimes we throw in a word like that. So that's just great languaging. I love the story. We just got to trim it down to its core essence, and this is gonna be a one that's gonna change a lot of lives.
Thank you.
Here's what I would say. I want to add to what Pat said. That's really important. I was wondering why I didn't feel connected at the beginning. It's because I couldn't relate or connect to being an actor or being this. Just say I was working a job. Just say I was working a job
Yeah.
and that one job wasn't helping ends meet. Now you got like 80% of the audience.
Oh, yeah.
typically.
I was
And I was trying some other things that I was passionate about, and they weren't working, but they were helping, do what they needed to do for my family. And then
Yeah.
and if you eliminate a lot of that stuff, you now connect with more people out of the gates, and you trim a lot, man. You trim a lot of that fat that's not as important as the meat. You do that, you kind of tease a little bit about, and I was the guy that was teasing my wife to say that's not going to work. And now I'm seeing her, she's working harder and seeing more while I've lost. Like, she's winning, you're losing. And like, just adding those two things, dude, that's going to be money. So great
That's
job,
amazing. Thank you so much. Can I ask
Great
you
job.
a
Give
question?
some love in the chat to
Thank you.
actor
Oh.
and freelance educator Marcus.
Thank you very much. I just had a question. This hopefully will serve those others out there. What's interesting is that in putting in the extra fat and sort of being inspired and listening to the other stories, I'm like, oh, because I have it lined out but not scripted. So then I lost time, and I actually forgot to add this whole thing about my kids. I forgot my kids, and I had the
Another
whole
connection
3 thing
point.
before, 3 thing after. So if I
Yep.
trim the fat, I'll add there's something with my kids too.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
awesome, dude.
a blessing in disguise. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Marcus.
Yeah,
All right, let's keep it going.
Done. Marianne is up next. Marianne, how are you today? Gonna get your camera on, gonna get your microphone on. We are excited. We are at the halfway point. Marianne's right in the middle here.
Here I am.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good. Happy Heart Day weekend.
You are in full Valentine's Day spirit. I love it. We are ready when you are ready, Marianne.
Hey, everybody, Marianne here. Have you ever had life throw you a curveball? Well, that's what happened to me. You see, I was working as a bookkeeper and an office manager for a lot of years. Then I fell in love, met my husband, and decided to join him in his business because he worked for himself. And I thought, oh, that's the American dream, isn't it? To work for yourself, have your own business. But what you don't realize is that when you work for yourself, you really just bought yourself another job, longer hours. And at the beginning, a lot of difficult, struggles, whatever, to get through there. But we were loving it. I was loving what we were doing. I was working from my home. It was everything I wanted it to be. But then came that curveball. He started to get pains in his hips. He started to feel this pain and this pressure, whatever. So we had to take a step back, and we started what was a 4 or 5 year journey to figure out what really happened was he needed new hips. During that time, we decided to put our company on the back burner, take a pause there as we kind of figure out what was going on with him and get him feeling better again. And I decided to go back to work for someone else. But I was nervous because I thought, hey, I was 49 at the time. I thought, who's going to want to hire this old broad? And then the other thing I didn't realize was that I had to take a pay cut. I had to take a big pay cut. Oh my goodness. So not only was he not working anymore, I was taking a major pay cut. So we struggled. We struggled for a lot of years. Then we got him his new hips. We got him feeling better again. And what we did was we just bought ourselves another business because that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to have our own business. But what we didn't realize, we really just bought ourselves another job again. You see, that came to light as time just continued to go on. Then I had this opportunity. Then, oh, sorry, I thought he was pausing me. So then I had the opportunity to look for something else. What people did was it gave me an opportunity to look at something because I was actually looking for a health solution. But what I found was an opportunity that wasn't just us. It was beyond that. And now I'm so excited for the future because it's a team. It's not just a job anymore.
Yeah. Marianne,
give it up for
good job.
Marianne.
Give it up for Marianne.
Welcome, love
Facebook,
in the chat.
backstage. Give it up for Marianne. Give it up. Hey, PQ, you know what I thought is obviously she used props better than anybody else. She used the curveball, which I love.
Love the
Marianne,
curveball.
I think what a couple of things that where I felt a little bit stuck, all of the elements are there. And I actually know that you'll be at the, I think I just saw that you'll be at the presentation power. I'm pretty sure you'll be at the workshop, right? You'll be there. Is that right? Did I
Yes,
lose-
yes.
Okay. Yeah. She froze for a minute or I froze. all of the elements are there, but we got to tighten them up because there's some of them are in the wrong place and some of them are a little bit confusing. So there's 2 times that you said I had my own business, but it was like buying a job. You said that twice. And so it's actually feeling a little bit counterintuitive to wanting to have your own business. If you go back and listen, there's 2 times you say that. So I'm like, so I think there is like, I was a little bit confused because you want people to want to have their own business. Now maybe you're going somewhere with that. The other thing is, I think there's some places where you get too into the weeds a little bit that don't allow you to get, I was waiting for the end, that don't allow you to get to where you want to go. Like, I think all of the elements are there, and this is like a puzzle too. Like, I think if we take this and put this here, remove a little bit, like all of the elements are there. All of them are there. Like, I love the fact that you worked a job. I love the fact that your husband you saw something that he had that you wanted to desire. Like, that's good. We can stop there. And maybe that's not the right story, but we got to figure the puzzle pieces out and then put them all in the right order. Pat, I felt like she had all of the elements, but we got to kind of rearrange them. And I also think that there was a couple of places where I felt confused in those 2 statements.
Well, I was thinking all the way through this, Marianne, this is on the edge of greatness, that you are going to be a powerhouse. No, chat lit up on this is a curveball story. This is about when life throws you curveballs, what can you do? And similar to what I said to Marcus, I mean, this story would be better with fewer details. I mean, we don't need to know all about your husband's hips. I'm sorry. We just need to know that he had some health issues and had surgery, and we could get through it with this. We don't need to know about all the businesses. We just need to know that you had a job, he had a business. I mean, I just think it's better with fewer details. I think the 2 things I would focus on is life throws you curveballs. When life throws you curveballs, what's the solution? And I think you've got a great second chapter story about, I think the best audience for anybody is people who look like them, people who are about their age, people who have been through life at the stage that they've been through life. I'm a teacher, so my first audience was public school teachers. I just think everybody has an audience out there. I think you have an audience full of people ready to write the next chapter of their life, who've experienced quite a bit, who might be having some health issues for them or their spouse. This is right on the edge of greatness. We just need to tighten it up. The word I use to describe what you need to do is simplify the emotional line. Your emotional line right now is like, I quit my job, started with my husband. That didn't go so well. Then it did, health problems. Then we started another business. That didn't start well, but then it did. Like your emotional line is like this bumpy road. And we just want to keep it really simple. Things were like this, and my husband had some health problems, but we were able to start this very simple emotional line. And this is going to be a powerhouse story. You're going to be a powerhouse in this industry, Marianne, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, Marianne, I wanted to say this to what Pat said. Pat, thanks for explaining it that way. It's something like this. It's something like, I was over here struggling in my job, and I saw my husband as an entrepreneur loving what he did or enjoying it and controlling his own destiny. And so it was amazing to be able to see that and join him on that side of the equation. But then life threw us a curveball, and my husband went through some health challenges. And it took us out, and we were challenged. I don't know if you've ever faced the health challenge of a loved one, but it can extend and it can go on, and it did for us. But I'm so thankful that afterwards, because of understanding that entrepreneur business and having our own business, we knew what it was that could help us rebound. And we were able to find something that allowed us to rebound. And so now it's not all of these other details. It's like the before, the curveball, the pivot, and the after. And there's just a lot there. And I think if you will take the elements, you add what you want to that. But let's work on that. And I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks at the workshop. So I can't wait to see you there. So great job. Hey, everybody, we're over halfway there. Give some love. We got 5 more people. We'll be done here in about 20 minutes. Give some love. If you are not joining us and it's Monday, the price almost doubles. All of the bonuses go away. Get off of the bench and get into the arena so that you can really be served and helped. It blows my mind away that Eric and Marina are doing a 4 payment plan, because they want to give you the opportunity to be there. Like most people would just stick with a one pay, that's it. because it's coming up in a couple of weeks. But they want to give you that opportunity to be able to increase, not just in your story, but also in your opportunity presentation. You're getting your reps started and all of your people started. You want to know what's as important as recruiting? Duplication. You get people off and running and starting. You become that skills trainer, and you understand how to signature talk. It's game changer. Most people, that'll take them 5 years to get that stuff built. And we're going to do it in a couple of days. So go to networkmarketingpro.com/challenge. We're not talking about it a lot today, but I know that Monday that offer goes away. So Pat, who's our 7th one?
Hey, Michael Harris is up next. And I'm great job, Marianne. And Michael, are you ready?
Yes, I am. How's it going?
I am doing well. I am ready when you are. Lay it on us.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Michael Harris, and I want to tell you about myself today, my story and my journey. So for the past 6 years, I've been working full-time as a warehouse worker in transportation and logistics, one of the biggest warehouses not only in my company, but in the world. It's not easy work, but I get it done day after day after day after day. See, the thing is, you know this if you worked a job before. If I want to keep getting paid, I have to keep showing up. And at the end of a long, hard week, I look at the numbers on that paycheck, and I can't help but think, is this all I'm worth? Why am I getting paid the same, the person who spends half their day or half their shift avoiding the work that we have to do? Or why am I getting paid the same as the person who we all look at them and think, how'd they get this job in the first place? Listen, I gotta tell you, I found a better way to get paid. I started a business where I can watch my value grow as I grow. Listen, I can't tell you how freeing it feels to know that I can still work hard, but for myself, not because someone else is telling me to do it or because I'll get fired if I don't, but for me. Now, at the end of a long, hard week, I get to put that behind me because I get to work on my purpose at home. I get to help my friends, my family, the people that I care about. Listen, I'm just getting started on this journey, but I'm excited for the future as I get to watch my net worth rise to meet my self-worth. And they're both going to keep on rising. This is only the beginning. Thank you.
Michael,
Yeah, Michael. Yes, my man, Michael. Yes. That was so good, bro. I was there. I was connected, man. I was connected out of the gates. You know, I mean, the only small thing is like Pat said, this is nitpicking, but you like maybe a job that you don't love, like you want more people to relate to it. So maybe they can't relate to that industry. Not that I'm nitpicking now, bro, like really nitpicking. But I think maybe if you add language, you had some of it there, but add some language. Like, I don't know if there's, dude, you took me through it though, by kind of like, this is all I'm worth. Like that, man, is Pat. It was pretty good, man. I'm going to be nitpicking if I say much. So
yeah, here's what I would say. Great job with the pacing, especially that day after day after you slowed that. If anybody didn't see you slowing down at that point, man, you weren't paying attention. Hey, there's not a lot I would change about this story. So let's talk about your camera. It's just too low. If you want to do well at, like, we're going to have a speak off at the 2-day workshop. If you want to do well in that speak off, raise your camera about 4 feet. We want your camera eye level or higher. So you can see both Pete and I have our cameras right at our eye level. And that way it's not, nobody, you look good. You look better than I do, but nobody looks their best with the camera low. Like if you've ever accidentally turned on your phone when it was sitting down on your chest and you see all your chins and everything, like nobody looks the best like that. Get that camera up at eye level. And I don't know if you've got a webcam or a laptop or what you have, but just set it on. I mean, a lot of times I'm in a hotel room. I got my laptop on the ice box, on the Kleenex box. Yeah, Pete's got a little stand. I mean, I put it on cardboard boxes. Just lift that camera up so it's I love the fact that you're standing. And so we just got to get the camera up by your eye level, and that's gonna take a great presentation and make it a hard to beat presentation. That's what it's gonna do.
So small, but I mean, something simple, bro, because Incredible job, bro. Incredible job.
Really
Give it up
well
for
done.
Michael,
Give some
Facebook.
love to Michael. Woo, well done. We are rolling. We got 4 left. Navina is next. Navina, how are you today? We are excited about this. 4 people left, and we are going.
Hi,
Hey, how are you? Can you turn your camera on?
just 1 second. All right, I'm here.
There we go. We're excited to see you.
I'm super excited. Hi, everyone. It's past midnight here in Dubai, but I'm super excited for this opportunity.
Nice. We are ready when you are.
Perfect. All right, everyone. So 5 years ago, my dream was to buy NutriBullet blender. Okay, and you might laugh at me and you say, what? Your dream was to buy a blender? Well, you see, my mom told me, go to best university, get a job, and you're gonna have your life settled, right? I was the best student. I finished my master's and there was no opportunities for jobs. So I was hustling, I was doing different jobs, and all I wanted to save some money and buy this blender so I can make my smoothies. But then I was so hungry. I was so hungry to be surrounded with people that I can grow, where I can be amazing, where I can learn more. And I decided to move to Dubai and get a job. So I got an amazing corporate job. And here I am, first salary, I bought my blender. So I was happy. And unfortunately, very soon, I realized I was so hungry, I was so ambitious, I got promoted, but I felt underappreciated. I was making millions for this company, okay, guys, millions. And I was paid peanuts. And I went to operation director and I was very unhappy. And I said to her, you know, I don't understand, why am I underpaid? I have the responsibility to manage this whole setting. I'm responsible for this income. I'm underpaid. I'm not seeing the appreciation here. And she looked me in the eyes and she said, you see, you're not a native English speaker. This is your first corporate job in Dubai, and we just have to pay other people differently. And I looked her in the eyes and I said, wow, I decide on this day that nobody will ever decide how much I'm worth and how much I'm gonna earn. So I started looking for answers, started looking for excited people, and then my friend introduced me to this incredible opportunity that I took on 2 years ago. And now I'm empowering other people. I'm surrounded with people who are super successful, but not those who wanna put you down, but those who wanna see you grow. And this is what I wanna see you as well.
Yeah. Pat, how long was that?
Perfect timing, 1:59.
All right. Well, listen, this is what I want.
But you were still in your job meeting with your boss at 1:40. You used a lot of time on that front end. That might be what you're wondering about, Pete.
Yeah, the front end was way too long. And like at the end of the day, the NutriBullet, I like the story, but it doesn't connect in this story. Like there's not really a purpose for this. And you're taking way too much time on the front end. You had some power statements, like millions making I'm making them millions. I'm being paid pennies. This day I decided that nobody was going to tell me what I was worth or what I could make. Like, man, get to those quicker. Like I had a corporate job. I had a corporate job, like so many people in just corporate America. Like forget the start, like start there. I had a corporate job with so many people in America, or so many people in just corporate world, corporate whatever, like however you say it, like we say corporate America. And however you're saying this, and I was able to create so much for them, millions of dollars. Like I was really helping them. And one day I realized, like, man, I want to promote, I want to get a raise. And I was told that I couldn't, and I was pretty much stuck where I was at. And I was thinking to myself, I'm making them millions and I'm getting paid pennies. And that day I decided that nobody else was going to tell me what I'm worth. 40 seconds, Pat, 30 or 40 seconds right there. And we're to the come on, tell me what's up. But now you're talking about the NutriBlend, you're talking about your boss, you're talking about this, and 1:30, we now get to some of these punchlines, and I'm like, yes, you are a great presenter. You got great energy. But the through line with a lot of people today is there's a lot of details that don't need to be in there, that don't add to more people wanting to go deeper in your business with you. And we got to get rid of that. And Pat, I'm telling you, we got to make sure we have a strong focus of that in a couple of weeks. And people are getting to hear it today. Those that choose to do it on their own, I really hope that that's one thing that they'll take. But she's a great presenter, Pat.
Well, yeah, the fourth part of Eric's 4-part model for this story is to how you feel about the future. Tell people how you feel about the future. There's 2 ways to do that. One is to tell us your feelings, and one is to show them. And Navina, you are just electric to watch because you love this stuff. Your smile lights up the camera and lights up a room. You don't have to tell me here. I mean, I love the fact that you told me you're excited about the future, but I can tell you're excited about the future. It's in your voice, it's in your eyes, it's in your face. One of the things, there are very few advantages to being in a pandemic. One of the advantages of being in a pandemic, and we're all wearing masks, is that to let someone else know that you're smiling, you have to smile with your eyes. And you smile with your eyes. I love that, how you just light up the room and raise your cheeks to light up with your eyes. This was a simple story. You're making this way too complicated. No one will tell me what I'm worth. No one will tell me what I'm worth. I'm the only one who will determine my self-worth. Who does that work for? That works for people like you who are making a company millions and getting paid pennies. Who else does it work for? People whose husbands or spouses have told them that they're not of value and have left them. People whose parents have told them they'll never be successful.
Yes.
No one will tell me what I'm worth. I will determine my self-worth. That's a simple story. That's a universal story. I love, you got powerhouse lines in there. We just got to simplify the story. You know, Pete, in one of our contests that we held, I had everybody start by saying, this is my story, and it's a simple story. And by starting with that sentence, I told everybody, just start with that. This is my story, and it's a simple story, and then go into it. What I was trying to do is get them to remember that simple stories are the stories that are going to make you millions. Simple stories are the stories that are going to connect the best. And simple stories are the stories that are going to give you the greatest impact and grow your team the biggest. And so if everybody, right before you tell your story, you don't have to say it out loud, but right before you tell your story, just think to yourself, this is a simple story. It'll really help you remember that the simplest stories are the ones that are going to win the most people over.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Give some love to Navina.
Hey, Facebook, give it up for her. We got like 5,000, 10,000 comments in here. We got thousands in Facebook. So thank you for listening. And if you're going to be passive, the only way you can be passive is if you're driving. Don't give a comment if you're driving. But outside of that, Facebook, light it up. They're going to go back there. I want us to quadruple the comments on Facebook. Like everybody be giving at least 1 or 2 to every contestant. Great job. Let's go with the next one, Pat.
Oh yeah, Magic Bullet owners unite. I love it. All right, we got 3 left, and Nikki is up next. Super excited to have Nikki on our stage today. And there she is. Nikki, how are you? Oh, it's Savita. Why do I have Nikki? What do you go by? We can't hear you. It doesn't look like your mic. Does your microphone on? Now you're muted. There you go. Now we still can't hear you. Is it possible your microphone's not hooked up or it's muted on your machine? It's not muted on Zoom. You are not muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Very good.
Hi.
You go by Nikki or Savita?
It depends on which day of the week. You can call me Nikki today.
All right. We're glad you're here. We are ready for your story. Start at any time.
Thank you so much. I am Savita Brooks and I am in Orlando, Florida. And thank you for this opportunity. I have a simple story. Hey, my name is Savita Brooks. As you may know, I was a project assistant. I loved being a project assistant. I love meeting new people. I love learning new things, seeing a mound of dirt, just being transformed into a work of art. I absolutely love strolling through the park and seeing people's eyes light up when they were visiting the park with their kids, making their dreams come true. And not to mention the high of the pixie dust. Part of me will always want to be a project assistant. Now, project assistants, the bad part about it is you're not appreciated. You're undervalued. You get used and abused. Now, there's always a part of me that will always want to be a project assistant. Now, some people that are not as good as me are going to make more money than you. than me. I'm a slave to the system. Everyone knows that I'm going to put in those extra hours. So yes, it can be frustrating. Yes, it can be income limiting. And yes, it can be overwhelming. Now, those are some of the things that I don't like. I found a way to have an impact on people's lives. I found a way to make a difference. Now I don't have to worry about how to pay those bills. I love being able to have time to spend with my parents more often. I don't feel like I'm exhausted. I don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Now I feel like I'm on purpose. I feel like I am building something for the first time. And now I can see the blue skies when all before I saw was a ceiling. Now I'm being appreciated instead of being tolerated. I am being celebrated. I am surrounded by like-minded people. I have a plan, I have a direction, and I have a dream.
Woo, nice. Minute 59 again, Pete. We are using our time today.
Pat, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you start this one off.
Hey, I love the fact that you started with things you actually like about your job, because I don't want any of these stories to come across with that opening, you know, things you didn't like about your life at the time as being negative. I just think you spent a lot of time describing the things that you liked. And I think you could boil it down to one word, which would be the theme through your whole presentation, which is, hey, I was a project manager and I loved being a project manager because of the impact I could see I was having on other people's lives as they walked through the parks that I had helped build. Like, impact is the word, which allows you later, then you describe the things you don't like, which I thought you did well. And then you have the opportunity. And then here's the key question. We call it the Steve Jobs question, because he always used to stand up on stage and say, what if there was a way? What if there was a way to carry 1,000 songs in your pocket? What if there was a way to have a computer that never got viruses? He always asked, what if there was a way? What if there was a way to have that same impact on the lives of other people, but without all of the other stuff that came with my project manager job that I didn't like? Or what if there was a way to have that same impact, but be able to control my own destiny and my own compensation without all that frustration? So I think what you liked about your job was impact. You can say that in one sentence, not 45 seconds. Then the things that you didn't like, and then what if there was a way to have that same impact without the weaknesses, and now you have your life now. So I would just shorten. I love the fact that you started with the positives, because it makes it seem like you're not just up here complaining and you're a positive person. I just want you to shorten that part. And I think the key through line of your presentation is impact. Pete?
Yeah, you know, I think I love your spirit. I love the poeticness to the end. Like, it was very much poetic. And I want you to go pay attention at minute 20 or minute 30. I don't know where it was when you started getting into that. I want you to pay attention to how your face lit up and you're like, you got excited. And it was noticeable that what's occurring in your life right now is so exciting. So you got to get there a little sooner. So once again, and I didn't realize this was going to be the through line, and I'm going to talk about it. We only have a couple more people, but there's a lot of stuff going on at the beginning that we don't need to know. Okay. I do love that you said Pat told you exactly what to do at the front. Like, that's perfect. And then get to that back end a little bit quicker with, you know, the transition in the back end, because watch even how the comments started coming in as people are like, wow, poetic, beautiful, like incredible. But we got there. It took us a bit to get there. So make sure we get there a little bit quicker, which means we got to remove some on the front end. But I love your spirit. I love your heart. Love who you are. And let's get it dialed in, Savita or Nikki or whatever Wednesdays are. Wendy on Wednesdays.
Give some love to Savita in the chat. Woo!
Give her love, Facebook.
Thank you.
We got 2 left. We do not want the energy to drop. We do not want the comments to drop. We got 2 left. We can do this. Stephanie is up next. We're excited to have Stephanie here and hear Stephanie's story. So camera on, microphone on for Stephanie. This is our final 2, and then Pete and I are going to come back with some final things, some final themes, and some final thoughts. Stephanie, how are you today?
Hey, y'all. I'm great. How are y'all?
Awesome. We are ready when you are ready.
Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm Stephanie, and this is one of my stories. So I'm an older mom. I was 39 and 42, and my kids were born. I was super low energy. I was tired all the time, totally exhausted. I had mom brain. I was scattered and foggy and forgetful, and had pain and inflammation throughout my body. It was so bad that about 3 o'clock every afternoon, I'd have to sit down on the couch because it was too painful to stand or walk. And with a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old, that wasn't working. But then a friend invited me to a class. I learned all about natural solutions and the supplement line that changed my life. Now I'm in my mid-40s, my kids are in preschool and kindergarten, and I have more energy now than I did when I was in my 30s. My mom brain is gone unless I don't get enough sleep at night. And the pain and inflammation has not been a problem in over 3 years. I'm super grateful to have the energy to be able to keep up with my young children and a body that lets me do it without pain. I'm optimistic about my long-term health and vitality, and I look forward to being active with my friends and family for many years to come. Thank you.
Woo! Nice. This is
Great
the
job.
following. Man, Pete.
Yeah, you know, a couple of things. Like Pat, I think you're missing your 1-minute warning a lot because you're into the story so well.
I gave it there.
Oh, you did? I know, but then she did great because she was only going for about 1:20 then, huh?
And at 19, she finished at, yep.
Wow. Okay, great job, but go a little bit longer. Like go a little bit longer. I didn't realize that, Pat. 1:20. So the place I'd love you to go is I love the pivot point of you didn't get introduced to an opportunity. You got introduced to something that was about to change your before and your after. And so I want you to drill a little bit longer on the before and the pain, because it was there. I know it was there because I have people in my life that have had it. And then I want you to drill in on the after. Now you covered the after, but you went over it and I connected to it, but I want you to go a little bit deeper around this transformation. And then here's what I want to make sure you do, like talk about the opportunity and the products that exist. Like you've got them now. Like this opportunity has not only changed my life physically, mentally, energetically, but it's changed my life financially because I'm now able to do the things I want to do. I control my destiny, or talk about how it's changing my life financially. You don't have to say it's changed. You can say it's changing my life. And so that's what I would do. The only other thing I would say, don't start with this is one of my stories. Like, don't start with that. Just get into the story. Just go right into it. A lot of you will give some kind of precursor, like this is my story, or, no, just get into it. Take us into the story, because what people are like is, they just have all different thoughts. Like, you just give them something to think about. Just get right into the story. Cool. Great job, Stephanie. Really great job.
Yeah, you did it. You have it so concise that we actually are adding things to yours, a little different than what we're doing with most presentations, which is cutting things, but you have it really precise. I would cut a couple of the details. I mean, being an older mom is great, but exhaustion is not unique to older moms. That you don't have to separate with that. When I became a mom, I was exhausted, and every mom in the room, every parent in the room is going to be nodding their heads with you. And then you add chronic pain on top of that. So here's what I would add, because you do have at least 30 seconds to add stuff. I would bookend this with what we call a parallel story. And these are not long stories. This is a 10-second story at the front and a 10-second story at the end. So the presentation sounds like this at the front. I remember when I became a mom, I was exhausted all the time. And then I started to experience chronic pain, which left me stuck on the couch. I remember one day, now here's the 10-second story we're adding. I remember one day, my 3-year-old son came up to me and said, "Mommy, will you come out on the driveway and play with me?" And I had to look him in the eye and say, "No, I can't. I can't get off the couch." That's 10 seconds that I added right there. Now we're going to go to the back end of the presentation. You're feeling better. You have energy. You're the mom you want to be. And just the other day, my now 4-year-old son came up to me and said, "Mommy, will you come outside and play with me?" And I was able to say yes. I scooped him up in my arms, carried him down the stairs, and we went outside and played all afternoon. There's a bookended story. Parallel stories, because in both stories, your son comes up to you and asks you a question, and in both stories, they have completely different outcomes. But that's not a long story. That's not adding a minute on both ends. That's adding 10 seconds on the front end, 10 seconds on the back end. But that's going to really bring this home to people. Add that and the financial aspect to it, and you got gold right here. This is really well done, Stephanie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Give some love to Stephanie in the chat. Woo! And I hope you see this. I hope everybody sees this. These are not people. I love these people, but they didn't invent the iPhone. They didn't cure us from cancer. These are ordinary stories of exhausted moms, people working 2 jobs. These are our stories. That's what I love about these. That's why a lot of these stories were picked, is because they're so universal and so connecting to people. We are ready for our 11th and final speaker of the day. Yvette, you can turn on your camera, turn on your microphone. We are not going to lose energy. We are going to give Yvette love in the chat. We're going to give her love on Facebook. And I don't see her.
Yvette, go ahead and talk and say hi. You're still muted.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yourself? Yes, we can.
Yep.
Oh, well, that broke it up a little bit. Whew.
All right. We are ready when you are, Yvette. Whenever you're ready, you just go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Yvette Mitchell, but my favorite name is Mama. That's what my 7 grandsons call me. My story, I was just a regular worker. I was a truck driver. I was 5 foot. You know, I could do the job, but the job wasn't rewarding. On the outside, I looked great, but on the inside, I had a boiling problem. I started suffering with anxiety and panic attacks. I let it consume me. I lost who I was. I stopped dreaming. Then there had to have been something better. And there was. A girlfriend reached out to me and asked me to take a look at an industry. Little did I know that this industry would change my life forever. I got to self-develop. I got poured into by amazing people. I got the knowledge. I've got the skills. Now I look in the mirror. I love who I see. I have something to offer. I can be the best mama and the mom that my children deserve. So I look forward to a very bright future, productive future, with the quality and the excitement that I hold now. I want to explode and tell the world that it's not a struggle. We can change it. Everything is figure outable. I love that term. And I want to be the best version of me. And I live life with purpose and on purpose.
Woo! Nice. Give us some love in the chat for Yvette. Yes.
Pat, I feel like, I think a couple of things I loved of that, Yvette, is that I felt like I was talking to you on like just conversational. And when you can get somebody just talking in a conversation, that's what they want to do. They want to have a conversation. And it feels like you're just sitting down talking with you. So I really do like that. And I love the story, just everyday story, normal story, just like so many other people trying to figure things out. And so I think that there is, I think that there's some power in that. Like, I want you to, at the end, I could tell that maybe you were ad-libbing a little bit. Maybe you're just kind of like, I just want to be, you know, this and that. You started ad-libbing because I could see that you realized that you probably only used 1 minute and 15 seconds or so. So you started adding a little bit more. So you've just got to, I just think you got to extend it a little bit. There's been a few of you that have gone too short. And then the majority of people have gone too long with too many details about things, of the stuff that doesn't matter and the moving stuff that does. And so I just think that you could have emphasized some things a little bit more. But I love the story, and I love just how you showed up. So you're on a cell phone. And so if you don't are you on a cell phone?
No, a tablet.
Okay, so tablet and cell phone can make the picture not be a full screen. I'm a full screen. Pat's a full screen. That isn't a full screen. And so if you do that, you've either got to learn how to do it on a laptop, or you got to turn your camera the right way so you're the full screen and not just a piece of the screen. You're just up the middle like this instead of being a big block like that. It's small, but for those of you that are all of the people who are going to be in the big speak off in a couple of weeks, where will be some incredible things that we give away, you're going to want to make sure your audio, first person, we didn't say this, Pat, their audio wasn't great. Adri, your audio wasn't great. And Yvette, and I think Michael earlier, is that you got to make sure that your setup with your camera is solid too. So just be prepared for that, because we want you guys to get powerful. So Pat, that's all I got.
Yeah, really good job, Yvette. I love that, the way you described your life with the anxiety. Here's the thing that you didn't do, which is to slow down when you had about 4 sentences that described when you started having panic attacks and when you started having anxiety. Slowing that down, I would say 2 things about that. First, when you slow it down, you cue the audience that this is an emotional downline on the story. Second, it gives the audience time to process the pain you were in and the trouble you were having. And so don't rush that part of the story. You didn't use all your time. You don't need to add more words. You just need to slow down in the painful parts. I always tell people when they're telling a painful part of their story, you've been dealing with this for years. The audience is hearing about it for the very first time. You have to slow down and let them process it. You have to let them process what panic attacks and anxiety would feel like in you and what that would feel like. The other word that I would change in the middle of this is industry. It's kind of an insider word that we're in this industry and we support this industry, and other people give this industry a bad name, but we know this industry changes lives. I don't think it's a word that is attractive to people. I would say there was a business that she invited me a part of, or there's a specific type of business that she invited me to be a part of, but I wouldn't use the word industry there. But this is a great story. I think you've got a big future here. And I would just say, give some love to Yvette in the chat. And
yeah.
Comments. And to all 11 people, were these 11 great stories? I just love this, Pete, because they were so different. They're so different from each other, different backgrounds, different pain points, different futures. But they told their stories. They told them unapologetically. I didn't sense anybody here was acting. Even our actor wasn't acting. They're just authentically and transparently telling their stories. And that's what I love. And I think that's why these made the top 11.
Hey guys, so this is what I want you to do. Listen, I want you to give it up for Adri and Pat. I've kind of tabulated. We're going to go back and forth on Vox, Pat, but I've tabulated what I feel like my top 3 are. And I want to go back and forth with you on Voxer because we're the judges of this PQ, which is a lot of fun. And as you're doing that, Pat, you ready to work on that? Because we got to give it. Okay.
I already sent you my top 5
on Voxer, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a top 4, so that's interesting. I'll send it back to you. So guys, this is what I want to do is I want to recognize everybody: Adri, Cheyenne, Catherine, Casey, Marcus, Marianne, Michael, Navina, Nikki, or also Savita is also Nikki, Stephanie, and Yvette. Give it up for all of them. I hope that we're gonna have some closing thoughts in here. We're gonna talk about the finalists, and then we're gonna give some closing thoughts here in just a minute. But guys, give it up, Facebook, Backstage. Give it up for all of them, all of them, all of them. This is what I want to know. I'm just curious. You can put it on Facebook. You can put it on here. Who were your top 3? Only put a top 3 if you were here for all 11. If you weren't here for all 11, don't put a top 3. But who were your top 3? Your top 3. That's what I want to know. See what Pat.
Hey, I can talk a little bit about some things that I noticed, Pete, and some themes for the day. Then you can talk about some themes for the day.
Okay.
And then we'll announce some winners. One thing that I think you heard a lot of us say, or you heard Pete and I saying quite a bit, is to simplify, simplify, simplify. And so there are details in every story that don't unite, they separate. That don't connect, they separate. And even when you say, I'm a mom, think about saying I'm a parent, because it will connect with more people. Now, if your audience is exclusively moms, you might want to say I'm a mom. But if you want to reach the most number of people, you'll say I'm a parent, because the dads will come along for the ride then. There are times when you specifically named an industry or a very specific job. And if you're speaking to somebody who has that exact same job, that's great. But if you're just speaking to people who are hardworking people, then just say I was working hard in my job. I had a 9-to-5 job, or I had a job in retail where my hours were kind of weird. My hours weren't the same as everybody else's, and I missed a lot of time with my family. So look for the universal connection points. Look for the universal connection points. And that's often not in the details of the story. That's often in the raw emotion of the story. Words like overwhelmed. Words like wasn't being paid what I was worth. Words like I had chronic pain. The specifics of it, not as important as the universal emotions. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have my dreams. Those are universal emotions. And I love the fact that every one of these stories, all 11 stories, hit the universal pain points. You just have to trim the story down. If you think about doing it in 2 minutes, and you won't always have 2 minutes, sometimes you'll have 3 minutes, sometimes you'll have 5 minutes, sometimes you'll be at breakfast with somebody and you'll have 45 minutes. But you don't want to spend more than half your time on the first 2 parts. You don't want to spend more than a minute on those pain points if you have 2 minutes, because that doesn't give you enough time to turn the story up. You still have to do part 3, which is I found something, and part 4, how I feel about the future now. And so when you think about how you're using your time, if you're 3/4 of the way through the time and you're still on parts 1 and 2, your background on the things you didn't like, you're not going to have time to scoop that line back up and be attractive. On the same note, you don't want to shortchange that opening part and do it in 10 seconds and rush through it. And so think about how you're using your time. You want it to be, if I were doing for 2 minutes, I'd probably want to spend 40 or 50 seconds on parts 1 and 2 and a minute on parts 3 and 4. That's how I'd think about it. And so it's almost a 50-50 split, just a little more time on the back end than you have on the front end, and that balances it into a positive presentation as well. And so overall, Pete, I thought this was a great job. I thought it was really good. So your overall thoughts and themes on this?
Man, I just think that, like, guys, as we're about to announce the finalists and give kind of our last call to action, our last kind of thoughts on the day, I just think that there is, I think that we found a lot of people just really sharing powerful stories, like, and I appreciate their stories. And what you got to do is you got to have the completeness of the framework. So I know a lot of people, including myself, like with Catherine, they connected to her story. It was powerful, powerful story. She's left her kid, she's away. And why a lot of people resonate with that is because that's what you feel like. You feel like you're out on this journey trying to grab your dream. But one of the reasons you're maybe not recruiting is it's because it's not just about the front end, it's also about the back end of the journey of where she is at now and where you want to go. You cannot leave the people who you need to be impacting off with just kind of this. You can't leave them just with the front end of the story, like the one that moves them and brings them in, the ordinary story. They want to see the extraordinary. And I know the extraordinary for a lot of you is not where you want it to be yet, but it's somewhere better than what it was a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. So you have to help people see that part of it too, because they connect with you on this part. They buy into your company with this part. And so I think there were some of you that had great stories, but you gotta bring everything together, and you don't have to have arrived at where you want to be. The other thing, the biggest theme for many of you, and this is going to represent so many of you, is you have way too many details and way too many dead ends, and you go way too long and way too deep into things. And so that's the other piece. And so, Pat, I kind of figured out a scoring system, and I'll talk about it here in a minute. But what I want to tell everybody is, like, we want you to be with us in a couple of weeks. And Pat, I'm going to recognize a few of those folks here in a minute. A lot of people that are taking action today, and I'm so excited. And we've kind of decided, Pat, which I can't believe we did this, but one of the things is everybody in 2 weeks is going to be in a speak off, not for the sake of the speak off, but for the sake of practice and feedback. How many of you want to get 15 or 20 or 30 pieces of feedback? How many of you want to get like 20 or 30 pieces of feedback on your story? That's what's going to happen in 2 weeks. Every attendee is going to be in rooms of 10, and they're going to practice their story 3 times, and some will advance, but everybody will practice 3 times, and you will have 30 pieces of feedback. How valuable is the feedback that Pat and I gave to not only these contestants, but everybody listening today? How valuable was it for you? Now imagine getting that from 30 different people, like your peers were the peers. It's easy, Pat, when you're not telling your story to notice what somebody else is doing. It gets harder when you're the one telling your story. You're going to have 20 or 30 people that give you insights. What will that be worth to you? How valuable would that be? And so here's the cool thing. We said something last week, but it's been such a hot thing. I'm going to tell you something today. and Pat, just don't frown on me, but everybody that is taking place during this challenge that signs up for the workshop and all of the bonuses will get to submit their 2-minute story to us ahead of time. And between Pat, myself, and my team, we're going to coach all of them so you walk into the workshop prepared. So you walk into the workshop prepared. Yeah, we limited it to 100, and I get it. That goes quickly, but we're going to do it for anybody that takes place between now and Monday, meaning that you will get some insight on your story before you show up for the workshop. So guys, go to networkmarketingpro.com/challenge. Take advantage of the 1-pay or the 4-pay because we're excited about this. It's going to be incredible. Pat, here's what I did. Let's just be really transparent. I want to pull back the curtain. You and I had 4 out of the same top 5. We both had a different one. So what I did is I used the scoring system of where we ranked them. And, you know, there's actually a tie. So we're going to be giving 4 prizes away today. So I just took what your ranking was, my ranking was, and combined that and built it off of 1, 2, and a tie for 3rd. And let me tell you, it was literally 1 point away from 2nd and 3rd. That's how close 2nd and 3rd was, guys. There was a tie for 3rd place today. And so thank you for your thoughts and who connected with you. That will encourage our contestants. But Pat, drum roll, please. Drum roll, Pat. Where's the drum roll? Come on, guys. Drum roll. In 3rd place for a tie and literally 1 single point away from 2nd place is Casey and Steph. No. Sorry. No, I messed it up. I'm looking at my notes. I didn't.
This is like
Stephanie.
Miss America.
And who?
This is like Steve Harvey and Miss
I
America.
know. I'm messing it up. Pat, gosh. Friday. Stephanie is definitely 1, and Cheyenne is 1. It's Stephanie and Cheyenne. Stephanie and Cheyenne are tied for 3rd place. My bad. I'm looking at a lot of stuff here. Guys, we're doing this real time for you. Like there's not, so both of them, Pat, will get tickets to GoPro. And they'll get a GoPro general admission ticket. And if they already have one, they can give it to a team member. So both of them literally got 3rd place tied. They were 1 point away from 2nd place. 1 point away from 2nd place. In 2nd place is Marcus. Give it up for Marcus. Yeah. Give it up for Marcus. Give it up for Marcus. And guys, you need to stay muted there. So Marcus is in 2nd place. Marcus, actually, let's bring up the 2 ladies here. Can we bring up the 2 ladies? Hey guys, can we bring up Stephanie and Cheyenne? And you know what I'm going to do, Pat? Casey was 1 point away from those 2. We're going to give Casey a GoPro ticket as well because I actually said her name. We're going to give Casey a GoPro ticket as well. So Casey, congratulations. You are getting one. But ladies, are y'all there, Cheyenne?
I'm here. I can't get my camera turned on. Oh, there it is. JK.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Any quick thoughts?
I'm just so excited to get jump in even more with this, and I'm excited to get this training and this one-on-one coaching and be able to actually give it back to my team as well.
So you're coming to the workshop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, hey, great job. Work on the stuff we said and just really, really great job. Really, really great job. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Stephanie, how about you? How are you feeling?
Hey, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Public speaking is like one of my biggest fears. And so this was a huge deal for me to face my fear today. And I really appreciate this.
Well, hey, you knocked it out of the park and great job, and work on the things that we talked about today. So great job, ladies. Great job. Great job. Casey, great job as well. You're going to be getting a ticket. Marcus, are you there? 2nd place.
Yes.
Yeah, Marcus.
What is up? I can't turn my video on. I do not have permission.
Okay, guys, can we get Marcus up and get ready for our first place winner in a minute? But Marcus, dude, great job, man. You make some of those tweaks that Pat talked about, and we're talking about a home run here, like really home run, a couple of tweaks. So
Wow,
congratulations.
Thank you. That's my wife. Thank you so much.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well, congratulations. A quick word that you want to say, just kind of experience, just really quick.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm so honored. I've learned so much from you up until the very second before I did this for all of you. So I'm so grateful, Pat and Pete and everyone in this community. And I'm so excited for this journey with my wife, you know, because it's true. There was a long journey where she's been involved for a long time, and I owe her so much, and it's about time. The threshold has been reached, and we're hopefully life looks great. Life happens for you, people. It keeps coming back.
Yeah, I love it. Are you coming to the workshop?
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I don't know.
Dude, you stole me in you in the breakout room. We went there. And it's like Pete, and you were there. Yes, you were there with Barry, and we're like Pete. So it's great to see you.
That's right. I noticed your wife. I was like, why do I know her face so much?
That's my wife.
Why. That's why. Yes, dude. Awesome. You're an accelerator. So I love that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Second place today. Great job, guys. Great job.
Love you.
And hey, team, our final person in first place. And I just want to say it was a clear first place for us today. And I saw it in the comments. Give it up for Michael. Michael, where's Michael? Hey, team, unmute Michael. Unmute Michael, team. Unmute Michael. Where's Michael? There he is. Michael Harris, what's up, man?
Doing good.
There you go. Eye level, but don't let the light in my eyes, though. Don't let that light in my eyes. And hey, Pat, it was both clear for us on this, Pat. What do you got to say before we hear from Michael for a little bit?
Yeah, just great storytelling, really good languaging. I thought you kept it simple, you kept it succinct. You know, this is what we look for in a presentation. So really well done, Michael, and congratulations. And congratulations to not just to the 11 that went today, but to the thousands of people that put on the Facebook page #mystory and put a video in. Every single one of you grew by doing that. Every single one of you moved forward by doing that and got better. And I can't wait for 2 days to dig deeper into this with you and to spend more time with you, mapping out all 5. This is one of the 5, mapping out all 5 of your presentations. I'm super excited about this, Pete.
Yeah, Michael, thoughts from you, buddy? Thoughts from you?
Wow. Definitely, this was a big step for me, just facing my fears and just getting my story out there. It's the first time telling my story like this, you know, and wow, wow.
It's incredible, bro. Like, dude, you moved the crowd, you moved everybody. Like, hey guys, online, like backstage, Facebook, like what did Michael's story do for you? Like, would you have, like, I would have joined, like if he's having a conversation with me and we're offline and just like real life, I'm like, tell me about what you do, bro, because I want to know it. Like, that's the power of your story, bro. You just got to tell it more. You got to tell it more. And so I like, it was clear to us, but you have won a workshop today. And here's the cool thing. I believe, are you an accelerator, Michael?
I am, yeah.
So first off, how's that experience been for you? A couple months?
Loving it. I'm gonna put out a testimonial, like Eric said, in a few days, but yeah, loving it.
So you think people should be at the workshop?
Yeah, definitely. If you can, yeah, definitely get there. The payment plans, whatever you got.
Well, here's the cool thing. You're going to get to take this and you're going to get to gift it to somebody in your team or your organization. And so you get to bring somebody or gift it to somebody. So you go think about who that is. And dude, maybe it's that person that you've been wanting to recruit into your business that's on the line, so close. And all of a sudden you tell them you want to gift them this thing, this $5,000 thing. We'll get them launched and rocking and rolling out of the gates, bro. So you did an incredible job, and cannot wait to see and hear about you, man, and hear the impact that your story has.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, congratulations. And to Marcus as well. Marcus, you will be getting a VIP ticket a VIP ticket into, and you don't need to unmute, but a VIP ticket to go pro next year. So you get that VIP ticket. And so guys, Pat, kind of final thoughts from you. I'll give some final thoughts and we will call it a wrap for the day, Pat.
Yeah, we've said it all week, Pete, but this skill of communication, the skill of being able to tell your story, it's a skill that's not only important to you and the future growth of your business, but it's important for every one of your team members to develop this skill. This is how you're going to grow. This is how you're going to grow your impact, grow your business. And if you've got team members that have potential but aren't reaching that potential, this could be the missing link. You want to get those team members at this workshop. You want to be at this workshop. This is the skill, communication and storytelling, that's going to put you over the top, and it's going to be an amazing 2 days. Thanks for this great week with you, Pete. You've fed us so much and fed into us so much, and I just can't even imagine what 2 full days of this is going to be like.
Yeah, guys. Hey, thank y'all for an incredible week. Thank you for showing up powerfully. Thank you for honoring these 11. Listen, it wasn't perfect, but it was authentic. It was real, just like all of you. Like, I cannot believe thousands of you put yourself into the arena. Thousands of you submitted your story. And you learned this week. Like, I learned from Eric this week. Like, wow, Pat's dropping me bombs saying, Eric Worre is one smart guy. Like, he is brilliant. Like, we started with the story and we ended with the story today. And in between, we focused on the opportunity presentation and what you have, the possibilities you have with that, and the getting started presentation of how you launch somebody in your organization or company. And then Eric talked about the training and skills presentation, becoming the one who has the microphone on a consistent basis because people want to learn from you. That's one you will arrive at and get to. And then the signature talk, the one that makes you the expert. That's been our journey this last 4 or 5 days. And we got to hear from 5 or 6 or 7 people yesterday that have literally made presenting one of the #1 things that they focused on. Many of them investing tens of thousands, some of them investing hundreds of thousands into this one skill, because this one skill will serve you for the rest of your life in all that you do. And this week you got to learn about 5 presentations. And so guys, this is it. This is the last training. This is going to be open until Monday. I'm so excited for Leela Cobb and Linda Herkett. These are people today, Linda Herkett and Sylvia Sasselin and Darlene Brown and Christine Williams, Kirsty, Serene, Sophie, Cheryl, Mary, Chris, Diana, Owana, Chris, Karen, Heather, Francesca, another Amy, Letitia, Cindy, Gile, Rita, Bruce, Melicor, Deanna, Pam, Paint, Wendy, Ruth, Stella, Bonnie, Yannery, Marco, Linda, Tanya, Jennifer, Elida, Heather, Jack, Christopher, Bruce, Adrian, Melissa, Angie. Congratulations for joining us. And I really want to encourage the rest of you. Join us in a couple of weeks. You can go to networkmarketingpro.com/challenge. You've got the opportunity for a 1-pay or a multiple pay, a 4-pay. I believe it's $23,000 worth of bonuses, and the workshop discounted from $5,000 to $2,950. And just, we are excited to be there in 2 weeks. We're excited to see all of these people get a little bit of coaching prior to coming that are taking action. That's the thing that we've opened up today. Anybody taking action before Tuesday, not only are you going to get your 2-minute coach before you come in, you're also going to get 20 or 30 other people that will speak into you practicing it 3 separate times. Us having a big speak off. Those are the sexy things. The real thing is getting those 5 presentations done. No checklist, done. So I hope that you'll join us there. Myself, Pat Quinn, Eric Worre will be big from the studio in a couple of weeks on the Tuesday and Wednesday here in a couple of weeks. You guys know the dates, networkmarketingpro.com/challenge. I'm so grateful to be serving you in this. I only serve you in this because it's something that for the last 5 years, I've been focused and I've invested so much money and time into this one skill. And I can tell you, This one skill is one of the major reasons why I've been able to create in this world what I've created. And it's going to be the same thing for each and every one of you. Thanks for being with us. Thanks, Pat Quinn. And guys, we will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Get registered before Monday night. Lots of love. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you to Eric and Marina Worry.
I've been running from 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. So I woke up, sun in my eyes, forgot all about what I did last night. What I do, remember that it was real, real nice. Talks about me are never good. I don't live life the way that I should. Oh well, I'm in for some fun tonight. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, just you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's a time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of. Just leave me alone.